So when the Muslims went to Africa, they went into cultures that had many, many Jahiliyyah practices. And they abandoned those practices for the truth of Islam. But then the practices re-emerge. And this is an interesting phenomenon because we have to ask, where is this re-emergence from? Where is it coming from? To give you an example, I don't know how many people know about Burning Man. Anybody here know about Burning Man? Burning Man is a phenomenon in California that started, I think, about 10 or 15 years ago, where a man who had lovelorn troubles, he'd lost his girlfriend or something, and somebody told him, we should do something to get your mind off this. So they decided to build a 40-foot man of wood and burn him. Like, whatever gets you through the night, right? So they did this, and they took this huge wood man to a beach in San Francisco, and they reassembled it. And there was this huge man, and then they put gas and lit it on fire, and suddenly everybody on the beach came, and it happened to be the time of the solstice. All these people came onto the beach and they recognized something amazing's happening here. In fact, one woman actually put her hand into the fire and got severely burnt, touching this burning man. And this became a ritual that was repeated now every year. The last one that was, I think, is somewhere near Barstow or something. There were over 20,000 people there. And it's like a Dionysian, it's become like this cult, Dionysian cult. Zobra, all these, it's a Dionysian cult. They go and they dance naked, and it's a very, very strange thing. But the burning man is wicker man. You see, the pagans in Europe used to do this same thing. Build this huge man from wicker and fill it with offerings to their pagan gods and burn them. It was a ritual they did around the solstice. So where does that emerge from? For the Muslims, we would say this is Shaitan bringing back his gifts to the culture. Really, there's something within the human condition where these things re-emerge again and again. And the thing about Shaitan, which is interesting, is he is not original. Shaitan doesn't come he's always coming with the same thing. They slightly change and there'll be variations of that thing. He brings a type of Jahiliyyah to people's, and for some reason, although there are similarities around the world, there are going to be different ones for different cultures and different peoples, because peoples are not the same and they're different. So he's got two adversaries here. He's angry at God, and he's angry at Adam.
The term Satan is an ancient Hebrew word which means adversary, opponent, or accuser. Satanism is a religion of the flesh, and therefore the opposite, or the Satan, of spiritual religions, which have a belief in a sort of dualism where the spirit of man is separate from the flesh and God is separate from the material world. These spiritual religions have named carnal or worldly things evil or sinful and satanic.
He said, you guys have got a great future ahead of you. Because we've been told, the high priest of our society, secret society, has been told that the master has very special plans for you too.
Now, what did he mean by the master?
Satan. And we were interested to hear more about it. And he told us, he says, look, we worship spirits. We worship Lucifer and all his angels. They're just as beautiful as they did before they were cast out of heaven. He says there was a misunderstanding in the whole thing, he said, among the inhabitants of the galaxies. And he says our master was misunderstood, and God did not bear with him like he does with people that make mistakes today. So we're in a warfare, good against evil. And we happen to be the evil ones, but we're not that bad. He says, I look at this business between the forces of good and evil. He says, you believe in one person believes in God, and everyone believes in Lucifer. It's like politics.
So the great controversy is real.
We're all going to land in a lake of fire, and this and that. So that's baloney. He says the conflict is going to end peacefully. Christ is going to realize that you might as well abdicate the rights of this planet. At the beginning of the 1700s, said the high priest, Satan and all his spirit counselors held a great general council with one purpose in mind. It was to prepare for the great industrial age that was soon to break upon the world. And Lucifer also foresaw another age that was to follow that, where tremendous scientific discoveries would be made by people, and we would enter a unique age that would change the way that everybody lives. It would also serve to usher in the end times and the close of the great controversy between the forces of good and evil.
Satanism as a religion came about sometime around 1966 when Anton Szandor LaVey created the Church of Satan and authored the Satanic Bible. The main message within the Satanic Bible is that Satanism is a religion of the flesh, the carnal, the earthly or worldly. A religion which views the world in materialist terms. It's a religion where man is seen as a carnal animal living in a material world. It's a religion where man is seen as a carnal animal living in a material world. There is no belief in some sort of anthropomorphic or spiritual being called Satan.
And by the time the council came to a close, they had three major policies that were going to be followed. First, they were to see to it that humans would be made to believe that Satan and his angels do not really exist. Because see, up to that time, you could walk down a street of Paris and you would have signs that would say, well, you have a soothsayer or, or a fortune teller of some type, and if you want to put a curse on someone, you would go and see this other old lady over there, the old witch, that's where it goes. But now it had to change. Lucifer says, we have to make sure that people, humans, get to believe that Satan and his angels do not really exist.
You know, Roger, that's interesting because a recent research study report that I read indicated that in a national survey, I believe it's over 75% of people do not really believe in a real tangible devil. But there is one.
Oh yeah.